Welcome to Ask the Lawyer radio podcast with attorney Brian Figueroa of the law firm Figueroa and Associates. This podcast features a recording of our most recent radio show. We hope you enjoy the show, which features news, views, and interviews on matters such as immigration, personal injury, bankruptcy, divorce, family law, estate planning, wills and probate, deed transfers, civil rights, criminal defense, workers' compensation, and taxes, both individual and business. You can contact us at 855-768-8845 or visit us at www.askthelawyer.us. You have questions? We've got the answers.
The process and requirements for a governor's pardon in New York State. A pardon is an act of clemency granted by the governor of New York State that can forgive a person for their felony or misdemeanor conviction. Pardons are significant as they can restore civil rights, alleviate the stigma of a criminal record, and potentially prevent deportation for non-citizens. This analysis explores the process and requirements for obtaining a gubernatorial pardon in New York State, the typical time frame for the process, and whether it can be expedited for federal immigration purposes. Requirements for a pardon in New York State. Eligibility criteria. To be considered for a pardon in New York State, applicants must generally meet several eligibility criteria. Completion of sentence. The applicant must have completed their sentence, including incarceration, probation, and parole, typically at least 5 years prior to applying. Residency. The applicant should be a resident of New York State at the time of the application. Demonstrated rehabilitation. The applicant must show evidence of rehabilitation and positive behavior since the conviction. This can include steady employment, community service, educational achievements, and a lack of subsequent criminal activity. Need for relief. The applicant must demonstrate a specific need for the pardon, such as the restoration of civil rights, career advancement, or immigration relief. Other considerations. The governor's office may consider factors such as the nature and severity of the offense, the applicant's criminal history, and the overall impact of the conviction on the applicant's life. The pardon application process. Step 1. Preliminary preparation. Before submitting a formal application, it is advisable for applicants to gather all necessary documentation, which may include a detailed personal statement explaining the reasons for seeking a pardon, character reference letters from employers, community leaders, or other reputable individuals, documentation of employment, education, community service, and any other rehabilitative efforts, a complete criminal history report. Step 2. Application submission. The application process for a gubernatorial pardon in New York State involves the following steps. Obtain and complete the application form. The application form for executive clemency, including pardons, can be obtained from the New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision, DOCCS, website. The form requires detailed personal information, the specifics of the conviction, and the reasons for requesting a pardon. Submission of supporting documents. Along with the completed application form, applicants must submit all supporting documents that demonstrate their eligibility and the necessity for the pardon. Submission to the Executive Clemency Bureau. The completed application and supporting documents must be submitted to the Executive Clemency Bureau of the DOCCS. Step 3. Review and investigation. Once the application is submitted, the Executive Clemency Bureau conducts a thorough review and investigation. This includes verification of information. The Bureau verifies the accuracy of the information provided in the application. Background check. A comprehensive background check is conducted, including a review of the applicant's criminal record and any subsequent offenses. Assessment of rehabilitation. The Bureau assesses the applicant's efforts towards rehabilitation and positive contributions to society. Interviews and inquiries. The Bureau may conduct interviews with the applicant and contact references to gather additional information. Step 4. Recommendation to the governor. After the review and investigation are completed, the Executive Clemency Bureau prepares a report and makes a recommendation to the governor. The recommendation can be either for or against granting the pardon, based on the findings of the investigation. Step 5. Governor's decision. The final decision to grant or deny a pardon rests with the governor. The governor reviews the recommendation from the Executive Clemency Bureau, along with the entire application file, and makes the decision. The governor's office notifies the applicant of the decision in writing. Time frame for the pardon process. Typical duration. The pardon process in New York State can be lengthy. The time it takes to complete the process varies depending on several factors, including the complexity of the case, the completeness of the application, and the workload of the Executive Clemency Bureau. Generally, the process can take several months to a few years from the time the application is submitted to the final decision by the governor. Expedited pardons for federal immigration purposes. Urgency in immigration cases. In some cases, individuals facing deportation or other immigration-related consequences due to a criminal conviction may seek an expedited pardon. Deportation proceedings can be swift, and the need for relief becomes urgent. Expedited review process. To request an expedited review for immigration purposes, the applicant or their attorney should clearly indicate the urgency. In the application, explicitly state that the pardon is being sought for urgent immigration reasons and provide documentation from immigration authorities indicating the nature of the urgency. Provide comprehensive documentation. Ensure that all required documentation and evidence of rehabilitation are complete and thorough, minimizing delays caused by requests for additional information. Legal representation. Having legal representation can be beneficial in navigating the complexities of both the pardon process and immigration proceedings. An attorney can help advocate for expedited consideration. Governor's discretion. Ultimately, the decision to expedite a pardon lies with the governor. While the process is designed to be thorough to ensure just and fair consideration, the governor has the discretion to prioritize cases where there is a demonstrated urgent need, such as impending deportation. Conclusion. Obtaining a gubernatorial pardon in New York State involves a rigorous process designed to thoroughly evaluate the eligibility and rehabilitation of the applicant. While the standard process can take a significant amount of time, there are provisions for expedited consideration in urgent cases, such as those involving federal immigration consequences. Applicants must meet specific eligibility criteria, provide comprehensive documentation, and clearly demonstrate their rehabilitation and need for relief. The decision to grant a pardon ultimately rests with the governor, who considers the recommendations from the Executive Clemency Bureau. Understanding the process and requirements is crucial for individuals seeking this form of clemency, particularly when facing time-sensitive issues such as deportation.
Do you have a legal issue, question, or concern? Turn to Ask the Lawyer. You have questions? We've got answers. For a consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us. You can also register for our paralegal program, get legal news, business consults, or other information on educational issues. Yes, Ask the Lawyer. You have questions? We've got answers. For a consultation or to refer a client, visit www.askthelawyer.us. Again, www.askthelawyer.us.